So we all know someone that is probably in a relationship that they shouldn't be in, and mainly these types of relationships are abusive ones. I've been asked to talk about this on my Facebook a while back, but I didn't. I held off on it because I didn't know how I wanted to put it. I knew I wanted to cover all these bases, having come from an abusive relationship myself, so I can relate to you the message that I wanted to get across to you. That probably should have been, I should have taken heed to the same message when I was in the relationship. Being in a relationship, you might not be the one that's being abused. You might not be the one who is actually physically hurting. You might be the one who is doing the abusing. You might know someone who is being abused, and you're trying to tell them how to get out, and they're just not listening, and it's frustrating. You might be a child in an environment of abuse. There's a lot of different types of aspects, and a lot of people that, even though the abusive person and the abusive one is in the relationship, it affects everyone. It affects families, it affects children, it affects everyone around you, even if they're not in the relationship themselves. A thing that you want to ask yourself, if you think you're in an abusive relationship, is, does he love me? Or does she love me? Many times we can mistake love for I don't even know what I want to say. But many times we can mistake love for jealousy, control, just really different things. Like, we think that because he's calling me 50 million times a day, or because he's asking me where I'm at every time I step at the door, he really loves me. And your girls are just saying, like, he's really controlling, and you might write that off as he just loves me, that's why he does that all the time. Or he won't let you go out with your friends, maybe he just wants me to stay in because he wants me all to himself. We can mistake those things that are clear signs of abuse, or the potential that it has a potential to turn into abuse, as love. So I think the question that you need to ask yourself, if you think you're in an abusive relationship, is, does he really love me? And this sometimes can be the hardest thing to confront, because we don't want to believe that this person that we've been with for X amount of months, days, years, whatever, doesn't really love us like we think we do, like we think he does or she does. So you have to ask yourself that question and be real with yourself, because this is the only way that you're going to free yourself from this person. So also take heed to what your friends have to say. Me and a friend were just discussing this the other day, that when we bring guys around our friends and we say, oh, he's not the one, girl, you need to get rid of him, we'll write that off as jealousy. Like, she's just jealous of what I have. She just wants him. She doesn't see what I see in him. And sometimes, yay or nay, it might be true, it might be not be true. But guys, if a guy brings a girl around, his guys or his boys, the guy will say, girl or guy, or not girl, guy, she's not the one. You need to get rid of her. And guys will be like, okay, they'll listen. And then they might continue a relationship with you. Paraphrasing our conversation me and my friend had, they might continue their relationship with you, but they're not adding their feelings into it. So they'll just dump you whenever. And not all guys are like that, and not all girls are like that either. So I think once you're real with yourself, you'll start to see things that other people are seeing. You have to ask yourself, is there something in this person that my friends are seeing, my family is seeing, that I'm just not seeing? And it also becomes apparent when the same person, or one person is saying this, which is a friend or a co-worker or something like that, and someone from your family is saying the same thing. I mean, everyone just has your best interest at heart sometimes, but you have to listen. You have to listen even if you don't want to. Another thing is that we surrender. If you're in an abusive relationship, you will surrender yourself to this person. You might give up who you are as an individual, as a woman, and hanging out with your friends. If you're starting to do that, then you have to question whether this relationship is really on the right track or not. If you start to surrender the things that you liked and loved about yourself, before you got with this person, that is a sense of control, and letting this person control you. Sometimes there is healthy control. Me and my husband, he likes to stay in. I like to go out, but he doesn't make me stay in. He doesn't make me stay in the house if I don't want to stay. But I don't make him go out with me if he doesn't want to go. So there's a healthy surrender there. Sometimes I will stay in the house to make him happy and to watch a movie with him or something like that. But it's healthy. It's not like he's making me stay. And I'm not out all the time anyway. I mean, I'm an Aquarius. We don't like to be, if you know an Aquarius, we don't like to be controlled, pinned in a corner or anything like that. We like to be free. So, I mean, if it's going out, if it's going running or something, that's not something he wants to do. He's not going to make me stay home. Another thing is trying to make it work. Once you realize that all these things are coming into play and this guy might not be what he seems, do not, if it's not worth it, do not try to make it work, because all the signs are there. I mean, if he hasn't, by this point, it should be some type of physical or mental abuse that is going on. Do not try to stay to make it work. Every time this is a failure. When I was in an abusive relationship, the guy, I wanted to make it work so bad. We were on again, off again. I had been with him since I was 15 years old. I was a sophomore in high school. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, he was my first. I'm gonna be real with you guys. He was my first, as far as losing my virginity to him. And he completely, like, I just knew that was going to be the guy that I was going to be with. And he completely turned my life inside out, as far as I was so in love with him, but he was cheating. He was doing things that he had no business doing. And it turned me into a person that I didn't want to be. It turned me into almost a crazy person, trying to figure out what he was doing all times of the day, or calling all the time, or this and that, because the love and affection that I was giving him, he wasn't giving it back to me. As far as when I felt like I gave him a piece of me, as far as losing my virginity to him, I felt like he owed me that much, to be with me, so it didn't work out the way that I wanted to. But instead of letting it go, because I feel like I had invested so much, maybe he would change. Do not try to make it work. What happened is I tried to make it work, and it seemed like it was working for a while, once we moved in together when I turned 19 and everything. But as soon as that happened, we were at each other's throats, because he hadn't changed. I hadn't changed from being that person who wondered what he was doing all the time either. So I tried to make it work and it didn't work, and it ended up as physical abuse. So this is what happens, and the end result cannot always be I just got hit. Sometimes you can be killed. You can die behind trying to make something work with someone who obviously has problems. If you know someone that is in an abusive relationship and you want to try to get them help, I suggest that you go and look up some things on the topic, research as much as you can, and even talk to a professional about it, because it is hard to get those people out of this type of relationship. They will say, make accusations and say that you're just jealous, and they'll be in denial about it, even though you see the signs, even though you see that this could potentially end in a fatal type of not accident, but in a fatal situation. They might not see that. They don't see that. They just think they're in love. They just think this person is just, loving them. And this is what they have equated or with love, is this controlling and this jealousy and this problem. Like, they just think that this person loves them. So please research the topic first, because you don't want to go into this head first, because they will never trust that you are right in this. So you need to get as much help and as much support and backup as you possibly can. So see a professional about it. I'm going to list some sites and signs of abuse. that I talk about signs of abuse if you think that this could be happening to you or someone you know, and the domestic abuse line, of course. I'm going to list it here under the video. And if you know someone that is in a position like this, try to get them help. Don't just stand by and watch it happen to them, because they don't know sometimes that this is not healthy, this is not right. You have to take into consideration someone's background and how they've been raised. Maybe they've seen abuse. Maybe they think this is the way that relationships are supposed to be. And if you have a notion in your heart to help someone that is being abused, don't stand by and watch it happen. That's the worst thing you can do. That makes you just as bad as the person that is abusing the victim, or your friend, your sister, your mother, your brother. It could be a man, it could be anybody. Just don't stand by and watch it happen. Reach out to that person, get all the help that you can, get friends to support you and rally around you, and show them support and love, and bring them out of that situation. So until next time, I will talk to you guys later. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and pass it along to anyone that you feel needs it. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.